Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convey.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Tattletales. Nice to have you with us today. Boy, you're gonna scared me to death. Hi. It's nice to have you with us. See, that was from the Bananas. We're going to move right along and introduce to you the other people on the show that are going to win you lots of money. For the blue section today, Mr. William Shatner and his wife, Marcy Lafferty. Winning money for the Bananas, Mr. Pat Cooper and his wife, Patty Cooper. Winning money for the red section, the star of The Price is Right, Mr. Bob Barker and his wife, Rosie Jones. I have to say one thing before we go any further, and that is to tell the American people that I am the bearer of fantastic news, and I'm going to let Mr. William Shatner himself tell you about it, because we are very excited about that.
I'm on Tattletale.
No.
I'm going to start. By the time this is shown, we should be in the midst of filming a 2-hour movie of Star Trek, which...
There's more.
With the anticipation of going back into a series.
It's going to be on the air again. Now, you know how many hundreds of thousands, millions of people in America have been waiting for that. And
bigger now.
Really?
It's as big now as it ever was, yes. Bill, and I know you know that.
I met a little kid outside in the hall, the truth.
Yeah,
his manager. And he had wanted my autograph, and he had a doll of me in his hand. As I'm signing his autograph, he's going, he's gnawing on my head.
Whatever, if it's useful, make it work for you. That's okay.
He gave me such a headache.
Whoa. All right, Captain Kirk and all of you, listen to this first question. It is for the ladies, worth $150 to your rooting sections. Ladies, you're stranded on our famous desert island again with your husband and another woman. Oh, it's getting interesting. You've managed to stay dressed, but they are both naked. That's what it says. A bathrobe washes up on shore. Who would you want to wear it, the other woman or your husband? Okay, that's the question. You were stranded on our desert island, right? You and your husband and another woman. You've managed to stay dressed, you ladies, but they are both naked, your husband and the other woman. A bathrobe washes up on the shore. Who would you want to wear that bathrobe, the other woman or your husband? Goodbye. It's all in fun, isn't it, Bill?
It's more fun just imagining.
Yes.
Here, you take mine, I'll take yours. Well, that's interesting. Is it a long kimono or is it a little shorty? Those things enter into it.
Yeah.
But they don't enter into it at all. It just... I'm kind of lost on the desert island there, climbing a palm tree.
Yes.
Where the nuts come from. You can't tell me what to do.
He's the captain. He gives the orders. Remember?
Marcy would, if the other lady is good looking, she wouldn't want me to run around naked, for God's sake.
Why not? Everybody else does.
Yeah.
That's true. No, she'd say to me, you wear it.
Why would she say that?
Why would you say that?
Make the lady uncomfortable?
We'd get used to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I've got more to hide.
Oh.
You asked?
Star Trek. All right, you'll say it's you.
It was Star. I've never heard anybody hum Star Trek.
You haven't?
Before.
I know that theme. Don't you know that? Okay,
No.
here she comes.
Who's this strange man?
Shh. Marcy, there you and Bill are, stranded on a desert island. You've got your clothes on, he hasn't. There's another lady there. She hasn't got any clothes on either. Yeah. A bathrobe is washed upon the shore. Mm-hmm. Which one of these two people would you like to wear that bathrobe? Either Bill or the other woman?
She is going to put on the bathrobe.
No, that's not what the Bill said. The Bill said that he was going to put on the bathrobe.
No!
tough question.
Either I take my clothes off or she puts on the bathrobe.
Either you take your clothes off and she puts on...
Or she puts
Or
on.
she puts on the bathrobe.
Right.
That would be interesting because...
Why?
Because you can get accustomed to nakedness as nude.
Yes.
But if somebody's clothed, it emphasizes the fact that there are nude people around.
Exactly.
But if all three of you are nude, nothing.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah?
But that wasn't a choice.
Not on my island. Sorry about that. It is an interesting... When I said before, Pat, that you would wear the bathrobe figuring to make the lady uncomfortable because the two of you would be dressed.
Right.
That's what you were driving
Yes,
at. You're
yes.
wrong, but it was an interesting theory. Pat, what will Patty say?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't want to wear the bathrobe because they're coming out of the ocean, it'd probably be soaking wet.
And sandy, too.
I'd like to throw it on the girl, see? But I think she's going to say that she would rather have the bathrobe on me.
She would.
Absolutely. Not that I have nothing to hide. He's got a lot to hide. I got nothing to hide.
It's not the
She
reason.
just likes to look at bathrobes, my wife. That's all.
Okay, all right. So you say you will put on the bathrobe and leave the lady
Absolutely.
walking around.
Right.
Okay, here she comes. Patty, you are stranded on this island. You and Pat and another woman. You have managed to stay dressed. They are both naked. A bathrobe washes up on the shore. Who would you insist on wearing that bathrobe? Either Pat or the other woman?
I'm going to say I would like Pat to wear it.
That's right. Any particular reason
She
why?
knows I'm shy.
Patty?
That's
Yes, I was just going to say that. See, I like to think I'm the only one that turns him on, so she wouldn't matter, but he is shy.
I see.
So
You were
he
thinking
would-
of him.
Right.
Oh, what a
right.
lovely thing. Lovely.
Nice, class. You
That's
got
a
class.
lovely sentiment. Thank you, Patty. Bob, there you are, the three of you on the island.
Right.
And,
I think. Well, Dorothy Jo cannot stand the cold. I think she'd put the bathrobe on herself.
No, she's,
That's not a
no,
possibility.
she's already dressed, you see.
well,
the bathrobe washes
then
up.
I'm going to base my answer on what happened the last time she and I and another woman were on a desert island. This very thing happened.
That's a
you
good
see.
thing to do, then. Then you've got it.
Dorothy Jo insisted that the other lady put the bathrobe on
Well, why is that?
because she had more hide than I had, unlike William here.
Yeah, I hated to tell him about, but I don't want to. Never mind.
Well, now we're getting back. Well,
Yeah, I understand.
you want to
Yes,
just leave it at that? No,
You break your
I
code
think
with
that
them.
Dorothy Jo would want the. What did I say before?
She want the other woman to put on the bathrobe. Is what you said.
I knew I'd heard it someplace, and that's what
Yeah,
I said,
that's
and I
terrible.
stick with it.
What's that?
She said she put it on the other lady.
She did say that. That's what happened.
That's what I say that she's going to say.
Okay. I sure hope this works out, don't you? We could be here
I don't
forever.
care.
This may be a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, that's right. Here she comes. Dorothy Jo, you're on the island, you and Bob and this other woman. You have remained dressed. Bob and the other woman were not so lucky. They are both nude. A bathrobe washes up on shore. Who would you insist on wearing that? Either Bob or the other woman?
Well, first I should explain that left at his own devices, he changes clothes 5 times a day when we're not going anywhere or doing anything.
Really?
And so if he wore it, I'd have to wash it and iron it. I want her to wear it.
So it's good a reason as any. Dorothy Jo and Bob, Patty and Pat are right. Thank you. We'll split that in half. We'll come back in a minute with question number 2.
Introducing all-time whammy favorites from K-Box. Original hits by original Press Your Luck whammies. Like Tammy Whamettes, Boy Whammy, Tina Whammy. But wait, that's not all. Act now and you'll also get the Whammy Fat 4, Whammy Presley, the Whammy Tones, Michael Whammy, and many more. Press Your Luck. All-time whammy favorites. Weekends starting at 3.
Question number 2. This is it, worth $150 as well. Listen carefully, ladies. It's for you. You decide to change your hairstyle completely. Are you more apt to tell your husband first or surprise him? It's a good question. You decide to change your hairstyle completely. Are you more apt to tell your husband first or surprise him? Okay? Off you go. Goodbye, ladies. We'll start with you, Pat. Does Patty change her hairstyle fairly often or no?
She changed her body style, her clothes style. This is a tough one because she's changed it and never told me, and then she's told me, and so I don't know. I'm going to take a guess to you. You're right. I'm going to say that she would not tell me. She would just do it.
She would surprise
And say, surprise! Surprise!
Okay.
I hope.
Does she usually wear it one way, or has she changed it?
Well, sometimes she cuts it all off and, says hiya, and that's the end of that. Now, see, she's bought about 7 wigs and never wore one of them.
Uh-huh.
She goes, they don't look good on me. Why are you buying them for? She goes, you got to have them in case.
In case.
So that's what she does.
Just in case. Okay, you'll say she'll surprise you.
I think so,
Here she comes. Patty, you decide to change your hairstyle completely. Are you more apt to tell your husband, Pat, about it first, or to surprise him?
Well, I'm a big surprise, so I'd have to say surprise.
That's right. You got it. Pat, Pat, have you got a side bet on this? I mean, he's sweating it out here, boy. I believe you get caught. You want to, and if you're guessing, especially
that one was a tough one. I wasn't too sure.
That's
really
rough when you're doing that. All right, Bob, what would Dorothy Joe say?
Well, once when I was your guest before, we went into this. Dorothy Joe wears wigs, and she very seldom has her own hair done. She wears wigs. And it's reached the point now, I used to take her over and she'd select her wigs, and then she found a particular style that she likes. So often when I have an appointment in the area where she wants the wig, where she gets her wigs, and she wants a wig, she'll say, pick up a couple of wigs. So she'd have to tell me if she were going to change her style, because I would be the one who would be picking up the wigs,
exactly.
You see?
Yes, right.
Therefore, I do not think she'd surprise me. I think that she'd tell me this time I'm going to do whatever, and she'd tell me.
More apt to tell you in advance, of course.
Now, she'll go into all this also and then answer the other way, probably, but...
Okay, so you are the wig man.
I think she'll tell me.
And so you're the... I almost want to say, keep... What is that? Keep my wig mom. I don't know. Never mind. Okay, here she comes now. Hello there, Dorothy Joe. You decide to change your hairstyle completely, is what you decide. Yeah. Are you more apt to tell Bob about it first or to surprise him?
Well, I wear wigs, and so I'd have to tell him, because I'd say, like run over and when you're downtown, pick up a couple
Boy,
of
that's
C18s.
word for word. You got it. Absolutely. Incredible. On the button.
Right on the money.
Absolutely.
That's
double
on the
correct.
money, boy.
Boy, that is on the money.
That's my brightest moment of this week, right there.
Captain?
Skip. I can't match that. I don't know what, I think that Marcy would probably, if she were going to chop it all off and do bangs and things like that, she'd probably say, what do you think? Would you think it would? I think she would ask me about it, and we would discuss it on a aesthetic rather than permission.
Right, of course. Does she change her style?
No.
So it's never come up.
Right. She would ask.
Okay, she'll ask you first. Here she comes. Marcy, you decide to change your hairstyle completely, and are you more apt to tell Bill about it first or surprise him?
I would tell him first.
That's right. That's what he said. Everybody got that. You're doing very well. We'll split that 3 ways. We'll change places at halftime, gentlemen, if you will. We'll step to the rear. The ladies will be out front in just a minute, and we'll come back with the second half of Tattletales. Don't go away. Here we go. We have changed places after halftime, haven't we? Yes. That's what we've done. And we have the ladies with me, and the fellas are in the back. We have 2/3 of a tie. Pat, you and Bob are tied with $125, and Bill, you have $50 at this point. Plenty of time. No, nothing to worry about. Men, the question is for you. Our magic genie sets up a strange situation for you. Listen to this. I love this question. You get into a street fight with a young man. This young man happens to be you when you were 21 years old. Who do you think would win the fight? The younger you or the older you? Oh, that's a dynamite question. Think it over now. Wow. You get into a street fight with a young man. The young man happens to be you when you were 21 years old. Who do you think would win the fight? The younger you or the older you? Off you go, fellas. Boy, I tell you, that is a dynamite question, I think. What do you think Bob will say to this?
This is so easy, it's incredible.
Why is it easy?
Well, it's just come out. He finally let it out that he's been studying karate for 3 years, and he's great.
Really?
He's really terrific. Yeah, he was on magazine recently and showed it to the world and everything. And at 21, he was carousing and all that kind of stuff that you don't talk about a lot. And he was really in rotten shape. And he's great now. And
Really?
he beat himself to death at age 21. Exactly.
Okay, you'll say no contest. He'd win now.
No, right
Here he
now.
comes. The older him would beat the younger
You
him.
bet.
Here he comes. Bob, what do you think? You get in a fight with this young man. He's you when you were 21. Who'd win?
The Barker of today would kill the Barker of 21.
That's the answer. You got it.
It would just be a matter of how bad I wanted to hurt me.
Be gentle. Be gentle.
I'm
Thank
sure
you, Bob.
Dorothy Joe told you all about the garage.
Sure
right?
did.
Yeah.
No, not the garage. Is that where you practice?
Yeah, I had my garage made into a karate gym, and I've been out taking karate now about 3.5 years. I've had a broken toe. I've had I chipped my ankle. I've had a sprained wrist and 4 cracked ribs. I've had a marvelous time since I started.
And this is all alone in the garage,
That's
right?
right. Nobody else there.
Boy, I don't want to get in a fight with you. Thank you, Bob. Marcy, what will Bill say?
Gee, that's so interesting. I'm not basing it on strength because I don't think there'd be that much difference. I think the younger would beat now because of the emotional things involved. Bill has said often, he said, you know what it would really be like to get into a street fight? He said, it really takes so much heat and anger and go for broke, and you can't be aware of too many other things. And so I think when you're younger, you can have all that, not weigh nearly so many things. And for that reason, I'm going to say younger.
Yeah.
Because we've sort of had this discussion. So unless you forgot the whole discussion,
Right.
this is
Okay.
the right answer.
No, you're right. A lot of things you think of, like, don't hit me in the face. Please, not in
I'm
the
going
teeth.
to
Hit me
film
in the
next
ribs.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And when you're young,
Yeah, that's right. You're not thinking about the fact you've got to go to work.
That's what I'm basing it on.
Okay, you'll say the younger man, and those are the reasons, and they're good ones, too. Here comes Bill. Bill, you get into a street fight with a young man. The young man is you when you were 21 years old. Who do you think would win that fight? The older you or the younger you?
It's always intriguing to think of, the fantasy of meeting yourself and trying to overcome your youth, I guess. But on a more serious vein, I would probably lose to youth.
That's correct. That's what Marcy said. Interesting, huh? We've had answers both ways. It's not over yet, Blues. Thank you, Bill. Patty, what will Pat say to this?
Well, Pat wouldn't fight if he were old, young, middle-aged, or whatever, because he used to be the champ many years ago. He told me the story, and when he went into the ring, he kept saying, give me a fight with the champ, and he said, stupid, you are the champ. And he said, oh, but I think the younger, it'd have to be the younger.
Would beat the older. All right.
'Cause yeah.
All right, here he comes. Let's find out. Pat, you get in a street fight with a young man. The young man is you when you were 21 years old. Who would win that fight, the older you or the younger you?
Well, I always had a respect for a man who would beat me with his brain, so I never had no trouble fighting myself because I had no brains, so I never had any big deal. But, I would say my wife said 21 years old.
That's correct. You got it. Everybody got that. A nice, interesting question. You all handle that well. Split that 3 ways. We'll come back in a minute with a $300 question. Anybody can win this. See you in just a minute.
Bob. Buzzer honors Bob Barker over 8 days. Bob Barker, celebrate the legend all week starting at 10 on Buzzer. Let's play.
We have to go quickly. This one is worth $300, and this will decide it. As you can readily see, anybody can win. Here we go. Men, when you go on a vacation, do you usually gain weight, lose weight, or keep the same weight? When you go on a vacation, do you usually gain weight, lose weight, or keep the same weight? Off you go. It's a good question. And it can go either way. What do you think? What does Bill do when he goes on a little vacation?
We don't go on vacation.
Right.
We go to work. I'd say you gain a couple pounds
Gains.
on vacation.
Eat restaurants always and
Yeah.
so forth. Okay.
Have to gain a
Gain a little. Here he comes. On a vacation, Bill, do you usually gain weight, lose weight, or keep the same?
Tough question. I would probably gain a little.
That's it. You got it. Whoa. Not tough for you. Thank you, Bill. Patty, what will Pat say?
Pat will say that he gains.
Gains.
Yes, because he's not working, so he would
So
really...
he can relax
We don't go
and-
on vacation, but if we did,
Isn't that
he
funny?
would
I
gain.
bet you all say that same thing, too. No vacations. Here he comes. Pat.
Yes?
On a vacation, would you gain weight, lose weight, or keep the same weight?
On a vacation you're talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
I would say I would keep the same weight.
No. Patty said gain a little. She said you wouldn't be working, you're liable to game. Sorry about that. Whoa.
How can she say that? She knows when I'm away, I always drink beer. I don't drink beer when I'm home.
Oh.
See that?
Oh, there you are. There's your answer. The beer was the
Sorry.
deciding factor in that answer right there. But Dorothy Joe, this will decide it right now.
He
You can win it.
doesn't. He wouldn't change enough to make any difference.
Really?
Yes.
His weight stays the same?
Yeah.
Does he does he watch it, or does it just stays the same?
Well, no. Again, we don't go on vacations. He's always working when we go, but those are what we call our vacations, and
Yes.
so it stays the same.
Yeah. He's too busy kicking things. And
That's right. He does that on vacation.
Does, huh?
Yeah, a whole
here,
bit.
Here he comes. It stays the same. Bob, when you go on a vacation, this is for the game, sir. Do you usually gain weight, lose weight, or keep the same weight?
I usually keep about the same weight.
That's right. You got it. Dorothy Joe and Bob and Marcy and Bill are right. Split the 300 in half. But time is up and the Reds win it. We will return in just a moment to give the Red section all their money.
Hush.
The big winners today, the Red section with Dorothy Joe and Bob, $325. We had 1,000. They will divide $1,325. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching us here on Tattletales. Bert Conway saying so long. See you next time.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.